I'm excited to cover this information. Hopefully, you had a great weekend, everybody, and turned it into a strong start for this week. We're now broadcasting over on YouTube. Welcome. If you're there, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's get rolling. Um, got a couple things to talk to you all about as leaders. And then I've got some slides I want to show called Establish Your Responsibilities. So let me just make sure I have those queued and ready to go when I do the share. I do. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Just finished making them, so forgive me. Um, all right. Let's get down to business. Got a couple modifications to DAC improvements. Business ownership is all about um, it's like a maze. I did a post the other day on Facebook and I said, being a business owner is like, or launching a business is like entering a maze that you got to walk through, a corn maze, and do you have enough working capital to try all the different turns is what it boils down to, because you'll get to your goals as long as you have enough working capital to keep attempting and trying different things. We've invested a lot of money into certain products that we lose money on. Our pharmacy product, that innovative pharmacy membership, we lost money on that product and didn't get paid for 4 months by the pharmacy, and still paid you all your commissions. It was a loss for us, right? We thought it could be a great product for consumers, and it ended up being unfortunately, a bad product for consumers, right? So it didn't. The audience spoke. You guys didn't get a lot of customers. We had less than 1,000 customers after 7 or 8 months. So you all spoke. Your team, your customers spoke. That wasn't a needed product at the time. We had more funding applications in 1 month than we had pharmacy memberships in a year, right? So obviously, there's you look at different things, but you don't know that when you launch. And if anyone thinks that everything they launch is going to be a success, well, then they've probably only launched one thing and were fortunate enough that it was a success. But most products, most companies have a lot of failures, but they're not failures. They're attempts. If you're Walmart, you put a lot of products on your shelf and you keep selling the ones that are selling and you replace the ones that aren't. It's called business ownership. And anyone who gets emotionally attached to it has an issue. So all this is to say, we're making some moves at DAC to improve our fundability and our performance for clients and for you as agents. We are doing away with BIDI and our automated process. Right now, if we go above 15,000 goes to Bank Breezy, 5 to 15,000 goes to BIDI, 3 to 5,000 goes to Giggle. BIDI's just not been performing, and we've had way too many defaults there. So either we're going to pay you 90 days later because they take up to 60 days to take clawback. So we'd either pay you 90 days later or not sell it because we're losing money selling it because we do a clawback and can't get the money back, right? So they take the money from us. We can't get it back from the agent, and maybe they're only funding they ever get, and we lose money. But more importantly, it's not desirable by the clients. When we first launched them 3 years ago, it was a great product and we had a lot of success and the clients loved it. But we're getting, unfortunately, right now, there's clients that have spoken in the defaults. Again, why are we having such a high percentage of defaults on that product? I don't know. But in our 10-year history, 9.5-year history, I think we've had about 40 defaults, and let's just say 33 or 34 of them came from BIDI, and they don't get that high of a percentage of our funding. So either something's up in how they do collections or their approval process needs to be improved. I don't know. Maybe they should have declined all those clients. Not sure. But unfortunately, it's just not good business to continue in marketing something with, we'll just call it food poisoning. They're great people, but the product has got some food poisoning. Okay. Otherwise, it wouldn't have such high defaults. Either the approval, something's wrong with it. So we can't continue to just look the other way and go, oh, it's no big deal. So a lot of people default. Who cares? No, if a lot of people are defaulting, they're getting in deals they can't afford, or something's happening to make them default. We don't know what that is, but we pay for it when they default. So we can't continue to send so much traffic their way. So we have to build new systems. but you're the leaders. This is our Monday leadership call. That's why I brought it here. We'd made this decision last week before the Friday agent update, but I didn't mention it there because we bring it to the Monday leadership call first. In case there's something you guys bring to market that we need to think about before we make the announcement to the rest of the agents. So they're a great company. I don't want to speak poorly about the owners. Their intent, they've tried to make things happen for us. They're not intentionally creating defaults, right? There's no ill will, but we've been hoping things would modify over the last 6 months, and they haven't. So we've just decided we're not going to send our automated traffic there. We will still be representing through Biddy, through Bank Breezy, the 15,000 and up, because we don't get defaults on those when it's not going through their automated system. The automated system is where we're getting the issues because there's computers making the decisions and giving the offerings. So there could be a lot of fraud. It could just be that people are committing fraud on the automated process and we haven't caught them. And Biddy's catching them only after they've given them money. It could be that, and that's probably what it is, frankly, because we don't get such high defaults in the non-automated way. Okay, so we're still representing Biddy. There's no hard feelings toward Biddy. It's just their automated process is no longer dependable in a way that we feel we can send our traffic that way. All right, so what it'll be, and we're doing a new onboard training tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're doing a new onboard training to update it. So we've got the 7:30 BizOp meeting followed by an onboard training, which will have the new funding process. We're also going to update the funding training. So right now it's got Biddy. So all this we think was going to take about a week. So this isn't going to shut off immediately. We're bringing it to your attention now that we're doing it. And unless there's some reason you guys can come up with or bring us to our attention that we didn't think of that. But this has been thought about for over a month. We've been talking about it on our corporate side. We've been exploring it. What can we do? We've talked to Biddy. What can we do? And what it boils down to is the automated system is just failing, their automated system. So where it's not with Giggle, Giggle's doing very well and they don't fund as high amount. But so the reason we had the two is Biddy approves up to 75% of your monthly revenue. Giggle only approves up to 25 or 30% of your monthly revenue. So if someone's doing 10,000, we used to get them 6,000, 7,000 at Biddy, and we'd only get them 3,000 at Giggle. Right? Big difference. But the difference is these people are defaulting crazy, like 30%, 40%. It's not even like, it's not that high, but it's of the automated funders. It's every time we get a claw, we're getting clawbacks every week. Let's put it that way. And we've never experienced that. And it's only on that automated funding product. So we've got to put a stop to it. All right. So what it'll be is it'll be 3,000 to 15,000 to go to Giggle, 15,000 and up, or anyone with a personal bank account. I'm sorry, up to 15,000 will go to Giggle, and any clients that have a personal business bank account go to Giggle because no one will fund those in the business space. So that's instant funding with the Giggle. Over 15,000 will go to Bank Breezy. All right. Now there will be no more Biddy automated funding. With that said, obviously documents need to change, quick reference sheets. We're updating all that stuff this week. So give us till the weekend to get all that done. This is a kind of a launch announcement to y'all that it's happening. This is part of business. It's what happens. That's number one. Number two, the DAC Healthcare site we're sunsetting. The DAC Healthcare, not the product. We're going to keep the product alive for agents who want to use it or refer it. It's going to go in the footer of the David Allen Capital site where it used to be. We built a new website called DAC Healthcare for the pharmacy product and the Clearwater product. But again, the audience, we base it based on audience. And we base it based on traction, not just emotions, right? There's traction. We put products out and we believe in them or we don't launch them. I use Clearwater's product. I believe in it. Everybody who uses it usually stays on it. It's not for everybody, but it's an amazing healthcare product. And so we're not disassociating. We're just taking DAC Healthcare down. So if you're promoting dachealthcare.com, stop. That site is going to go away. All right. It's not going to go away till the end of this month. So if you want to market the heck out of it between now and the end of the month, like we talked about with the licensing product, we said we're taking it away in 2 months unless we see an uptick. We didn't see an uptick, so we took it away. Most people didn't even realize it's disappeared. DAC Healthcare, the same thing. Unless we see a viral, wow, we want this, then we're going to shut it down because we're losing about $2,400 a year just to maintain a site. All right. Just to have the site, it just doesn't make sense for the amount of referrals. So we'll put a link in our back office where you can still use it as an agent. We'll still pay commissions on it, but we're not going to be leading with it as a product to promote because we haven't found people who want to lead with it. It's been there. We've had it now 3 years. I've used it for 2.5 years. I've talked about me saving $6,000 a year. I've talked to clients about it, but unfortunately, it has not had traction. Okay. We have the same number of customers now that we had after 90 days of launching it. We've only added what we replaced. So we had a big splash when we launched and we put on a certain number of customers. 3 years later, same number of customers as we had after 90 days of launching. So Ellen Wynn doing healthcare trainings, me doing healthcare trainings, bringing on their team to do healthcare trainings. You guys submit funding deals. You don't submit healthcare offers. So if you want to change that, the next 2 weeks will show. If we see an uptick, maybe we'll say, hey, let's keep it alive. But as a leader to leader, we're sunsetting that. It doesn't make sense to lose money on a product when we're a free business, right? You can't lose money on products. You got to at least cover your cost and have a reason to believe it's going to be a flyer. 2.5 years of use, 2.5 years of selling it. Even launching license required to give that because we were told we need licensed products. Get us the licensed products. So we did that for a year, put that together, only to find that's not what it was. We don't know. We've never been in that space. So we used our business acumen to believe, okay, well, maybe that's what they need. So let's do it. We did that. And that didn't change anything either. So long story short, we're doubling down on funding. We've said this a few months ago, but that means the DAC healthcare site is going to go away. DAChealthcare.com. If you got cards, sorry. I've got a bunch. You've got 3 weeks to use the heck out of them. So if you got 1,000 cards, now's the time to go put them on windshields and take them to offices and do whatever you can. If you only had 100 cards, we see not a lot of people ordered the cards, but some did, including me. I've got pharmacy cards that I threw away. It's unfortunate. We don't like to launch things that we close. We kept pharmacy alive 4 months longer and told people we had to do it away eventually. Eventually, we got to do away 4 months longer than once we knew, okay, they're having problems at the pharmacy. We believe they could pull it off, but unfortunately, they didn't pull it off, and we ate it. They still owe us quite a bit of money, over 20 grand today. They owe us in commissions that we paid out to the field. So it is what it is, right? Maybe we'll see it one day, maybe we won't, but it's just a loss that we take. So it's okay. Our funding is rallying, right? Our funding applications were up 30% last week over the week prior. Our recruiting's up almost double. You guys are rocking. We're not rocking in the non-funding products. Payment processing, we're doubling down on some emphasis there to help that happen, even following up with our current clients because it's such a great residual product. But in full transparency, we get for every 10 funding applications, we get, or for every 100 funding applications, we get one payment processing submission. So it's like 100 to 1. So payment processing is a tremendous product. We get a lot of funding applications. So we're not doing away with payment processing. I don't see that going away. I see our internal sales team picking that up more. I see other things that can help that because that product is a spectacular product for us. But funding is where we've got our biggest competitive advantage. The Bank Breezy funding platform, there's nothing else out there like it. There's other lead harvesters out there where you can apply and they sell your lead, like, these, I forget the names. I won't even say the names now, but, you go to certain sites and you fill out a form and they sell it to Quicken Mortgage and Rocket Mortgage or Rocket and Rapid Advance and On Deck and 5,000 lead people who buy leads. And you got 5,000 sales guys calling you now or girls. And that's not what we do. We do not sell it to third parties, but that's some of these lead harvesters do. We're not that. We go out and work with each one of our lenders and present the offer to the client. We have had some agents who are using us as a funder, but also submitting deals themselves to lenders. We don't want that. Our agreement says to our providers, we're not going to do that. They know we submit to many providers, but they don't know you might be submitting it to other providers too. And that creates risk because of stacking. So I want you to imagine we both apply at, you apply, I come to you, you're my mortgage broker, and you apply at Rocket Mortgage, and you apply at some other mortgage company, a third mortgage company, and there's no collateral. So you don't have to be listed anywhere. I could take loans from all three places and none of them would know because there's no liens. There's no collateral put up. I'm not being added to the house title, right? Do you think Rocket would be okay with you applying at three places if they couldn't take lien to the property? No, because you could be borrowing three loans and you can't afford three loans. So as soon as they see two applications, they are half the time they don't want to give an offer. You don't realize you're hurting your client. So when we apply at multiple, they're okay with it because let's say we send a deal to On Deck. They know we're sending it to Rapid as well. They know it. And they know we are not going to give them both. They know we have integrity. They know we're going to give them one offer, not both offers. But there's sales predators out there who will take that application and send it to a bunch of places and then go, okay, we're going to fund them all the same day. We're going to get 50 from this one, 30 from this one, 20 from this one, and you don't have to pay them back. It's called stacking. So what do you think On Deck does when they know that you've applied at three places or they get that application from two different brokers, not just DAC, but some guy as well, or some other company? They go, this client's applying at a lot of places, not just through DAC. We don't have an offer for them because we don't know if they're trying to stack. So they decline an offer. So people don't realize you're not doing it. But if people in your team are applying through us and they got their own deals because they're like, hey, I'm going to go direct to the lenders too. And why would I let Bank Breezy make some of the money when, I want all of it and I got the loan after all. And they don't realize that hurts us and it hurts them. And because it tells our lenders we don't have control over the agents, that they may stack the deal. So they don't want to give us an offer because they know one of our agents or someone else is trying to stack them with multiple lenders. Okay. So leaders, if you're submitting or if you know people in your team who are direct ISOs, don't submit to us. We don't want them. We don't even want to fight for the business. We know we'll get you the best offer, but we don't want it. What we say is accept a slightly lower commission than going direct. You'll get providers you can't get on your own. Number one. Number two, yeah, you get paid a little bit less, but you'll get the best offer for the client. And you'll actually get paid more because now all you got to do is focus on marketing. If Wade Cordell had to go get all the clients that he's talking to and all the underwriters he's talking to, we wouldn't have near the amount of fundings and he wouldn't refer many clients because it takes a lot of hours on the phone if he and his team, and we're scaling that team because we need more people just to work on the packages and present the offers. And so it just doesn't make sense. So if you have anyone who said, I'd rather just have my own direct agreement, then do that. Don't submit them through us. We don't want them. All right. And if we know that you're submitting to both, we're going to tell you got to stop. Either stop submitting yourself or stop submitting to us because you're giving us a bad name and you're scaring the lender. Because the lender starts saying you could be stacking, so we're going to decline this offer. And then Wade has to, hey, well, wait a minute, let me find out who they applied with. They bought a lead. Okay, well, that client's called 20 different lenders and 20 different offers are out there. And if they take two or three at once, we don't know. So we're not giving them any money. They don't realize they're hurting it. So hopefully that makes sense. So those are three just business things for leaders. Three business things for you guys is number one, Biddy's going to be the automated Biddy. Automated Biddy is going to be sunset. DAChealthcare.com is going to be sunset. There'll be a link on the bottom of your David Allen Capital page and in your DAC back office if you want to order it for yourself or if you want to get a customer. Clearwater will still do quotes and still do quote requests for your teams and all that. It's just not going to go through a separate website. It's going to go through the footer of davidallencapital.com. So you could send your link to people. They can, if they want to get a quote, they can get a quote. All right. Pay plan is still the same. Those are the three big administrative things. And I don't like having to have these, but hey, sometimes we're talking about launches, other times we're talking about retractions. Today is a retraction day. And, sometimes by the way, it fuels the DAC corporate team because we're focused on supporting these departments. And if they're not making us money, we're exhausting resources that don't generate production. So it doesn't make sense to maintain it long term. We maintain it long enough to run down the path to see if there's enough avenue there for success. And it's not premature. We've been doing this 3 years, healthcare. It's not like we made this decision. Again, the customer numbers have not changed in 2 years. Okay, we've gotten new customers, but we're only replacing ones that we're losing. So it hasn't made sense. It's never been a moneymaker for us. It's been a profit loss at some point. We got to pull that plug. Today we're pulling that plug. And you'll still be able to refer it. If you're one who loves referring it, you'll still be able to refer it. You just won't be referring it through dachhealthcare.com. That should be pulled by the end of this month. I think the site will be live till the end of March. And then it's going to be sunset. And there'll be something that says go to whatever our footer page is. Maybe we'll have a page on the DAC site. We'll see. But there'll be a link to it in your back office, nothing else. All right. But what I wanted to talk about today, I know we're already at 20 minutes. Wow. But I want to go through these slides real quick because this is the bulk of what we need, which is most important. And thank you for the kind words, everyone. All right, let's go to share screen. This is going to be called Establishers. Okay, you could probably Zoom Workplace, DAC Establishers. Okay. What it takes to lead a market set. Now, these are some of you, this is a checkup from the neck up. You got to ask, am I doing this? If not, I got to start doing it. Because again, this is for people who want to lead a marketplace. Number one, of course, lead by example. You got to be getting your own customers regularly. You got to stay active and visible in your local market and online. That's what establishers do. You show up consistently. Even if you expect others to work, you must be working too, right? You got to lead by example. Really simple. System builder and duplicator. Train agents on how to build, not just what to do. You got to show them too. When you're an example, you can tell stories of what you're doing, right? You're not just pointing to the training, you're actually doing it. And then don't say it if you're not doing it. It's okay to say, I've not done any prospecting in the last month. I'm only doing follow-up. You want to lead by example. You'd rather say that than act like you are, but you can tell you're not. Just be honest. Just be honest. Okay. Create a culture where new agents follow the 1, 2, 3 process. 1, they onboard training. 2, the funding training. 3, a game plan. You want to be doing this, everyone. If they don't do 1 and 2, you don't need to do 3. If they don't do 1 and 2, you don't need to do 3. I've got about 10 new agents I recruited in the last month. I'd say 4 of them have done 1 and 2. The other 6 have not done 1 and 2. So I'm certainly not doing 3. Make sense? They got to do 1 and 2 before you'll do 3. Guide agents to their first customer and first team members if they've done the step above. If they're not going through training, tell them they're hurting themselves and the company. And I can't wait for the LMS to be live where they have to do 1 and 2, right? They'll have done 1 and 2 or else they won't be agents. They'll be referral partners only. And then teach others the importance of being a teacher, not just doing it. So many people get caught in just doing, which is great, but duplicating is key. Market ownership mentality. We talk about this. You want to be someone who not only leads, but you take an initiative in your market. Right? You identify business owner hotspots and build relationships. So little towns, little villages, chamber meetings, develop referral partners in your market, CPAs, brokers, bank managers, right? Find and mentor at least 3 committed leaders in your area. These are people who are going to be doers. You got to have at least 3 team members. If it's you and 3 in your local market, you're rocking. You and 3 can tag team together because you can go out with 1 and then 2 of them go out. And vice versa. And you can switch to another and they can tag team and get to Starbucks, meet at Starbucks in the morning at 9 a.m. and talk for a half hour, get boosted up, listen to something good and go out together and then meet back up for lunch. and share stories and go back out in the afternoon. This is for full timers. Or guess what? You could get together at 7 o'clock at night and do it for an hour until 8 o'clock at night and go home and talk to each other, have a nice tea at Buffalo Wild Wings and talk about the great 1 hour of prospecting you did, right? This is being a leader. If you're not doing this, I'm only going to tell you this is what I did to get out of General Motors. So many people don't want to do team leadership. Again, Monday's not for you. This is for people who are doing these things. Okay. So mentor them. Ensure your market knows DAC exists. Don't be a secret agent. Obviously, relentless follow-up. Keep a list of your key agents and check in regularly with them. Track agent activity and offer guidance where needed. Help the struggling agents troubleshoot and improve. Sometimes you won't know unless you hear them. Sometimes you don't know what they're saying. You listen to someone's opening sentence, and if they don't say, "Hey, I'm just reaching out to you because," and relate with them, you know why they're not having success. And they've heard it 1,000 times, and you can simply say to them, "Hey, haven't you heard David say many times on the training, and Wade say many times in the training, and Matt and Nick and all the people talk about, you got to relate with them in the opening sentence, or else they're not even listening." Don't you realize all that stuff you're saying is like a commercial on a channel they're not watching? Well, I've never said that before. I like that. It's like a commercial on a channel they're not watching. And then you think, well, I told them they didn't listen. They didn't care what you had to say because they knew you didn't care about them. So it's got to be a personal thing. So give guidance, help struggling agents troubleshoot. Culture, create a sense of belonging and excitement in your local team. Get together for some barbecues. Have meetings at people's homes. Don't just meet at Starbucks. If you're all into a certain football team and your basketball team, March Madness is coming up. Get together and watch some games together, right? Recognize and celebrate small wins. Foster a mindset of service, integrity, and mission-driven growth. Pretty simple. This is all easy stuff, isn't it? Are you doing it? Ownership over your, treat DAC like a business, not a side hustle, guys. It's $1 million business here. Have a growth plan, set goals in customer acquisition and team expansion. Develop personal leadership skills, books, trainings, mentorship. Read, watch videos. Fall asleep watching a YouTube video if you're going to watch something, not, some, network TV. They all rely on sex and moral destitute crap to get reality TV crap. Watch reality business growth stuff instead. Watch something healthy. Turn the news off and turn on something that's going to turn you on, turn you into a productive person. Educate yourself. University doesn't end when you get out of college. University ends when you die, unless you don't look at the teaching. YouTube, books, all that stuff. Books on tape, Audible. Make development, personal growth your thing. If you don't know how to do some of this stuff, there's a YouTube video on every bit of it. Every bit of it. You're building an income producing asset or you're not. But don't look at it as one-time sale. Your team is a viral franchise. Do you understand? You own your own. You didn't start Subway and you don't have to buy a Subway job. But you can have the benefits of starting Subway and have 7,000 locations that you're making 2% of their sales. You can have 7,000 agents and make an average $100 override on every one of their fundings. You can do that. You got to be an innovator and problem solver. Adapt when things change, like what we just talked about. Now, some people are going to complain about this and why didn't they know any better? Hey, we're going to launch other products in the future too. And we'll do a lot of research and we'll invest the money. We won't ask you to. You may invest some time and the product may fail. We may have lenders in our offering right now. OnDeck, one of our best lenders, has been purchased 2 times by publicly traded companies. There could be a day when OnDeck is a mortgage company instead of a business funding company. We don't control that. It's not going to change anything. Right? When you're dealing in big markets, it may change our supplier network, but the good news is there's a plethora of providers who want to be in our revenue-based funding space. Stay up to date on our services and strategies. We did a lead training on Friday that if you didn't watch that and implement it, if you watched it and didn't implement it, then you're not coachable. If you watch it and you implement it, good for you. That's rock and roll. You're having success. And others didn't even watch it. And they say they're a leader. So I don't expect you to be on everything live, but I do expect you to stay, if you're a leader, to stay plugged in and know everything. We've given some nuggets on the Mondays and Tuesdays for team builders, and there's team builders who go, "Yeah, Ruts is going to say all the same stuff," or "I don't need to be there," and they've never built big groups. They think they get it, but until you've built a big group, you don't know what it's like to have a big group. And we're sharing things that you need to know for when, if and when you have a big group. So do it the right way. Otherwise, it'll stumble and fall. You'll have 100 reps and no production. And then you'll go, wow, I did 100. Okay, well, how many game plans did you do with those 100? You're the leader. How many game plans did you do? Zero. Okay, well, are you surprised that it stumbled? The process is one, two, three, onboard, funding training, game plan. Well, they didn't do funding training. Yeah, don't even count them as an agent then. You don't have 100, you have 100 leads. You don't have 100 agents. Agents complete the process of onboarding, funding training, and game plan. Then they're an agent. And even then, not everybody's going to succeed. But if you keep it that simple and you look at the funnel, the end, the people come out the training at the end and do a game plan, then you've got a team. Taking ownership, building and leading, not just participating, driving results, creating momentum, and inspiring others to follow. You've got to create, leading by example and building a duplication system, repeating our duplication system, right? I'm going to come back to this in a minute. I'm going to go to the 4 phases in a minute. I just want to share something real quick. Driving results, creating momentum. Productive people have their notepads out or their phones. Some people do it digital. I need paper for me personally. I don't know. Everyone's different. I talked to my daughter who's 19, 20 now, Michaela. I'm going through notes with her on stuff and she's putting it in her notes in her phone. I'm like, man, write it down. But it's she would rather do it there. So we're all different, right? It's cool. I can't judge her for not wanting to put it to paper. But me, I'm sitting there with notepads constantly looking at what we got to do this week, how many more recruits we need this week, how many recruits came in the team this week, how many people are productive this week. And it's only, and I'm because I'm the CEO of the company, it's my job. You guys are overseers to your business. You do need to spend some time doing analytics, setting goals. So taking ownership, driving results means you got to have a goal you're shooting for. So you don't spend 30% of your time doing this, but you spend 10%. So how many new recruits do you need to bring in this week for them to contribute 10 new fundings? How many is that? How many in your team do you need to bring in to get 10 new fundings this week? Any idea? It's 40. You need 40 new agents to go through the training and game plan to have 10 new fundings. Now, you may get one who does for themselves, okay? But you need 40 agents. So how many did your team bring in this week? I don't know. Okay, well, why not have a goal? Tomorrow night, we have a Tuesday event. Why not have 40 in your team on there? You know that'll turn into 10 new fundings. Well, those 40 got to go through the onboard and they got to go through the game plan. So how many of your people went through the onboard training? Once we have the LMS, you'll see the statistics. But I'll tell you this, 1 out of 2 don't even open their welcome letter. Did you hear me? 1 out of 2, not all your agents, but 1 out of 2 of our new agents don't even open their welcome email. So they're not real agents, are they? No. Now yours maybe 100% open their email and 100% watch the onboard and 100% do the funding training because you are being a leader to them and you're staying in touch with them. You're not just letting the water go where it goes, right? You're creating channels for that water to go down. We've got buckets. We want it to go bucket 1, onboard training. Then put an opening at the bottom and all the ones onboard, then go to funding training. Don't go to funding before onboard. Go to onboard, then funding. And then after funding, then game plan, not game plan before. So when you do this, it's predictable. Now all of a sudden it's free. If 40 equals 10 and you need 100 new agents to have 40 go through all the process. Okay, so I need 100 new agents to do 10 fundings. Now, I'm not talking about the one agent who does 4 fundings a month themselves. Add them to your list too. I'm talking about just general basic numbers. 100 new agents starting in your team should equal 10 fundings. Our average funding is 80 grand. It's over 15,000, 80,000. So 10 fundings at 80,000 is 800,000, 800,000, and just use 9% bonus revenue instead of 10%, 881,000 in bonus revenue. 81,000 in bonus revenue, you're making a piece of that. That's so if you had 100 new reps start this week, 40 go through the process, you're going to get 10 fundings. How do you get 100 new reps to start? I remember Harlequin tells a story when her group went through a big burst of production. A few leaders joined her company. They brought some leaders, and they had thousands of people join in like 60 days. And she was getting 4 or 5 commissions a day, every day from that production. Now, they didn't follow the process. That was just raw numbers. They did not do game plans. Harlequin tried to help them. They did not go through the funding training even. They just were passing leads to our site. And so you lose a lot of them. Many of them are still here and doing well. So when you do the process the right way, not only is it predictable, but now it's easy to turn the knob up and go, okay, to get 100 new recruits, we got to get all of us trying to recruit 3 or 4 people each. Wow, we got 300 next week. How many new agents started in your team this week? How many of them went through the onboard? How many went through the game plan? How many? The LMS is going to track that for you, which is great. But until you have that, it's called phone calls. It's called calls with your team, right? And now you can track your numbers. Like, okay, if I want to make 2 grand this week, if I'm averaging $100 override, then I need 20 fundings in my team. I won't even count my own old team. I'm just going to count new team. To make 20 fundings, I need 200 new reps this week in my whole downline, my whole team, and I'll make 2 grand in overrides this week. Now you can make 2 grand by getting 1 client yourself. You don't need 200 people. You can recruit 3 people and one of them gets a client and you'll make 2 grand. So I'm only given a raw, basic leadership, big picture, global. Like McDonald's they don't look at the one franchise, what they do. They look at all their locations. I'm giving you a global mindset, a macro view, not a micro view. Now, you want to have a micro view with everyone new you recruit that you put through the game plan. You should be able to help them get 1 funding this month. Every personally enrolled, you should help them get 1 funding their first month. It'll be $80,000. They'll make 3,200. You'll make 320 to 1,600 on that one person. That's a micro view. So that's why you personally enroll people. So I go back to when I was an ACN, long before I started my own company, I had a micro view and a macro view. Macro view, I want my whole downline to grow by this number of reps a month. And I want my personally enrolled to grow by this number a month because my personally enrolled, I make this, boom. My whole group, I make this override, boom. So, but it's a lot easier to have hundreds of new people starting in the big group once you get it going than it is your new group. So you got both. You got your personal client commission, boom. What's that number going to be? What are you shooting for? You should have a goal for this week. How much funding are you going to do this week? How much funding this week? You should have a goal. How much are your personally enrolled going to do this week that you make 10 to 50% of what they make? How many is that going to be this week? You should have that goal. And how much override of funding is going to happen? And I always look at number of new recruits for that because recruits can start to eventually be every 100 reps will equal 10 fundings. Now that 100 is going to go down as we get our LMS live because we're going to see trackability of trainings, and they won't get paid full commission until they go through the training. So we'll see a more actively engaged group. So those are the 3 numbers you want to look at: personal revenue, personally enrolled agent revenue, and group. Okay. And so here's the 4 phases of business growth. Number 1 is where you want to spend 90% of your time: recruit and sell personal customers and helping your team get personal customers. Okay, so it's personal customers and helping you managing your recruits, support, but don't get stuck babysitting. You want to support them, oversee your managers and oversee your overseers. You really want to be a number 3 and 4, very little, like 2% of your time. Very little of your time should be 3 or 4. You're not a corporate officer here. You want to do 1 and 2, 90% of your time, 10% of your time doing 2, 3, and 4. Now, again, number 1, recruit and sell is also helping your personally enrolled do it. So you getting customers and helping your personally enrolled get customers is all part of number 1. Okay. 2, 3, 4, you want to do 10% of your time only. Oh, it says that. Spend 90% of your time in recruit and sell and 10% in management mode. Too much management, leadership stagnation. It's like a football team with only coaches and no players. I actually was trying to create an analogy of that, but figured this is fine right here. Okay. So that is what I wanted to talk about today with the leadership. Um, we retracted some products. Biddy's going away on the automation. We're only going to do Biddy on the 15 and up, 15,000 and up. We're going to hopefully have that taken down by the end of the week. Updating the quick reference sheets, updating all the stuff by the end of the week, the trainings and stuff so they're current. But until then, we're going through a state of transition. DAC Healthcare sunsetting. Um, Oh, by the way, the Zoom slides are up to date. So if we talked about last week, starting to do Zoom presentations, you can download the PowerPoints in your back office. And I think that, oh, and don't forget tomorrow night, BizOp overview. The way you earn more overrides is get more people to join. Obviously, do 1, 2, and 3. That goes without saying. If you're not doing 1, 2, 3, onboard funding, training, game plan. If you're not doing that, and then field training with them, you're hoping to recruit some people that are productive with or without you. But McDonald's, what they did is they got real, this is our process, do this and you will win. If you do everything we teach in the funding training, if you do everything we taught in the leads training Friday, if you do everything we teach in our Tuesday nights onboard training, if you just do it, you will have success. It's guaranteed. I can guarantee you life success, just like a personal trainer can guarantee if you eat this menu, do these exercises, you will get in shape. Now, I can't make you eat that, and I can't make you do the exercise. I can't make you do the exercises, and I can't make you ingest the training and the systems and duplicate that. I can't make you. But if you do it, you'll have success. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And we put our money where our mouth is. If I didn't believe that, you know what I'd be doing? Charging y'all money. I'd charge $29 a month to become an agent. It's real simple. It's worth it. 29 a month. And guess what? We'd have thousands and thousands of $29 bills coming in every month. If I didn't believe it worked, but I believe it works. And I believe you'll do well. And so much so that I believe we'll cover our 800,000 in fixed expenses from performance, not from your fees. And if not, I'll pay for it myself. So fortunately, our performance has covered our company. But if not, I'll cover it myself. That's putting our money where our mouth is. In other companies, because they can charge, they do. And for some, that's the only reason they're still in business because their products suck and they're overpriced and they can't be sold to retail customers, only internal consumption. But it still works. So they keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And leaders copy it and build new companies to do the same thing. We're not selling you a system. We're not companies out there selling you a system. We're sharing it, we're educating it, and we'll earn a small percentage of your success. Leaders, we appreciate you. Let's see if you got any questions about anything. My wife must have went for a walk because my dog is pawing and pawing. Any questions? Ellen's got her hand up. Go ahead, Ellen.
Hey, David, good stuff as always. I have a question. You had announced our first quarter compensation promotion with the automatic 10% and then the 60 move to 90 days on engagement. Have you decided if that's going to be extended or what we're doing there, or is it ending the end of March?
Till further notice, it is staying. We're making some tweaks to how we pay out. Frank, we're making some tweaks to how we pay out, and I'd like that 10% to be permanent, but I can't say it's going to be permanent yet. But for right now, it's still in place. Yes. Engaged
Okay.
is 60 days, though, not 90. So
Engaged is going back to 60?
engaged is going back to 60. The 10% is staying on.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And if you didn't know what that meant, team, thank you, honey. Did you hear? Any other questions or comments? I'll check the chats. Beautiful. Love it, Dana. Leo, you bet. Slide 1. I'll grab that in 1 minute. Slide 1 just says DAC establishes what it takes to build and lead a market. Maybe you want lead by example. Okay, maybe that's the one you wanted to see. So let me just do screen share real quick. And this was slide 1. Is that what you wanted, Leo? I assume so. Take a screenshot quick. By the way, this is all on video, so you can go back and watch the video. Harlequin's got her hand up as well. You guys might even be seeing the meeting chat because I've got screen share on and I've got my chat up. I'll take that down just in case someone sent me a private message when they don't want you seeing. Damon, I would say go watch the BizOp pay plan. What we're talking about there is the personal enroller bonuses. If you recruit me, you get a percentage of my performance. You make 10% of what I make in personal commissions, but you can get 25 or 50 on what I make, or you can get zero if you're not qualified. But we ran an incentive that said we're going to pay you 10% minimum no matter what for a period of time, first quarter, the end of March. We're continuing it after March, where you'll keep that 10%. Okay. So if you're not qualified in the pay plan, you still get 10% on your personal enroll, 10% of what they earn in personal commissions. But go watch the comp plan training, but that's what I'd recommend. And because you want to make sure you fully get, there's triggers. You can get 40% on your personal customers, or 60 or 70 or 80 on your personal customers based on your last 30 days. Not based on if you've been here 6 years, based on your last 30 days performance. So you definitely want to know what triggers bumps. We call it amped up. Harlequin, what you got for us, Harlequin?
Hey, David. Thank you for all the updates and the training today. Just real quick, you had commented about people going and stacking loans with other companies.
Yes.
And I literally got a phone call on Friday from somebody who they were doing $25,000 a month at the time.
Okay.
And they got $25,000 from one of the lenders that we have.
Yep.
They got $15,000 from another company. And there was a third one for $45,000. So they got $85,000 worth of funding on a $25,000 revenue. They ended up, they were looking for more money and didn't get enough for what they needed. And their revenue actually went down to between 10 and 15. The total of all the payments that they make each month is $9,000.
Yeah, they're out of business.
Yeah.
And they fraudulently applied. So
And
not only are they in trouble, but now legally that business owner, because they had a rep who didn't care,
right,
who didn't care about them, a predatorial person who made commissions, killed that business. And you know what? They're calling your businesses in your town. And they don't care about the business. They care about their commission. And they'll tell you, yeah, I can get you 50 grand when they're doing 25 grand. How? They don't tell you, I'm going to apply at 2 places at once. Or I'm going to get you 17 credit cards. Yeah, well, Citibank and Amex and everyone else isn't going to be happy if they find out you applied at 15 places. So they're going to shut you off. Fortunately, or unfortunately, they don't check it, but our lenders know it and they can see when you took the money, you're violating. There's a clause in your agreement that you can't take more money. So they literally are violating their agreement by stacking. There's actually clauses, anti-stacking clauses in everything. So now they're not even going to get the graces of the collection department at the funding company to want to take care of them. It's fraud. So they're committing fraud and they're hurting their business, and the salesperson's happy to do it for them. We don't stack. We don't allow stacking. If someone's getting a second position, we disclose it because there are people who will do a second position. It's like getting a second mortgage for your home, but it's disclosed. There's a first position. You know this, Harlequin. But so we disclose it if someone's trying to get 2 positions, or we'll say we can get you 50 and someone else is willing to come behind with 20, all known up front. They're okay giving you 50, knowing you're getting 20 more there. They're okay giving you 20, knowing you're getting 50. It's all pre-planned up front. That we can do sometimes, but it's rare. It's super rare. But predatory lenders are calling your aunt, your uncle, your warm market, people in your phone that you've not reached out to yet are being hit by alternative predatory lenders. And I get them all the time. Now I tell them, dude, why would I ever go with you when Bank Breezy exists? One stop best offer, 20 plus providers. You should be an agent for them instead of who you're with. And I send my link. I'm marketing right back at them now. And of course, they're all scammers. They're not people who we'd want in our company if they're lying. There's some who don't know any better. They've been with the company a week or two, right? And they're good people. They just hired on to a bad company. So just know this. I put a post up on our Facebook page and I put a person with a mask on the telephone because they're predatory telemarketer. They don't give two craps about your community. And we need to get the word out. We need to get the word out that there's a better alternative for when they need funding. And it's not the person calling over the phone unless that person has got a DAC logo and Bank Breezy logo. That's where they need to go. So we got to get that word out. I need all of you. I'm counting on all of you to do it. We need to really, really scale fast. Scale fast. Like thousands of agents weekly need to be starting because this product is too good to just be getting a few hundred applications a day. Millions of businesses are out there and millions are applying for funding every month, and they're not applying with us. They're applying through predatory places. You're sitting on $1 billion business yourself in your team. You could have 50, 100, 200,000 agents in your team part-time. You can. I understand 90% won't do anything, but that means you have 10,000 who are. And 10,000 agents does not saturate a market. There's a lot more mortgage agents than 10,000. And how many people need to buy a house? How many people need to buy a house? There's millions of businesses who need funding 2-3 times a year, not just once. But yet there's thousands of mortgage agents and hundreds of thousands of real estate agents. How many houses are really being sold? For every neighborhood that's got 10 homes for sale, there's 50 businesses who need money now. We need to have hundreds of thousands of active agents. Go for having them all in your team. Let us worry about the funding platform and all that. You just encourage and lead the biggest team and make the biggest check. You'll learn a lot more than me. And I'm okay with that. Our pay plan is built for if you outperform me in the field, you're going to earn more. And if I outperform you, I'm going to earn more. And if Harlequin outperforms both of us, she's going to earn more. And isn't that okay? That's called America. So I don't see any other questions. I don't see any other comments. So let's rock and roll. See you tomorrow night. Game between now and tomorrow night. Let's fill it. It's March Madness. Let's fill between tonight and tomorrow night. Let's fill that event. Let's get everyone on our teams and get some new prospects out there. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing the onboard training. So 7:30 BizOp, 8 o'clock onboard training. Updated.
David,
Yes, Mom.
just one quick thing.
Yes,
On a
Mom.
lighter side, you're not
Uh-huh.
wearing green, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I am 100% Irish,
Wow.
and my son is not wearing green. I'm very
Wow.
disappointed.
Well, I would be wearing green if Michigan State would have won yesterday to support my daughter and son who went to state. But I'm Michigan. I'm wearing Michigan blue because after all, do I have any Michigan stuff behind me? Because after all, they won the Big Ten championship. Yeah, baby. All right. So I wanted state to win. And Grand Canyon Lopes too. Grand Canyon University, where our other daughter goes, Christian school out in Arizona. They won the WAC, Western Athletics. So now they're in the national championship. But I'm sorry, Mom. I'm 50% Irish and 51 if you say Dad's partially Irish, and I should be wearing green. Sorry, I forgot all about it. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. God bless you all. Let's rock and roll for